Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make macrame bracelets with different size bead holes. This is huge. There has been so many macrame designs that I have made over the years, and it's always been hard to find the right cord size and the right bead hole size. It's a pain in the butt. It's like one of the biggest obstacles in macrame. But I made a really neat bracelet where you can use any different size bead hole. It doesn't matter if it's a tiny hole, if it's a large hole. I came up with a way to use all different kinds of beads to make a macrame bracelet. Now let's go over the cord I'm using. This is called flat wax polyester cord. This is actually a thread. They use it for leather work. The size I'm using is 0.8 millimeter. But I love using this for macrame. It's wax, so it's kind of waterproof. It doesn't really absorb water like the Chinese on a knotting cord does. It's synthetic, so you can melt it. You'll see information about the cord down there in the description bar. You can use whatever beads you want to from your stash to make this macrame bracelet. Pretty much everything works. The smallest bead I have, hole size, this here is a check flower bead, and the whole of this bead is the same size as an 11-0 Miyuki seed bead, and the cord that I'm using works with 11-0 Miyuki seed beads. So that's the smallest size hole. And to give you guys some ideas, you can use Chinese crystal. That's a Chinese crystal bead. So are these. You can use resin beads, acrylic beads, you can use charms, you can use shell beads, lampwork beads, ceramic beads. Like, pretty much everything works with this project, alright? So, before I get too far into this, like I said, you can use whatever you want to from your stash. I am actually using materials from the Softflex company kit. This kit was called Book Lover, and I'm working on two projects. I already have this one made. Since the kit was book themed, book lovers, I decided that I should make a eyeglass holder. For some reason, both of my parents have always wanted me to do a tutorial on eyeglass holders, and really, there is nothing to it. You just have to know how long to make the holder. So these are the beads that I use from the kit. The only beads that I use are my own are the seed beads and the bugle beads, but the beads here that you see are from the kit, and I did use these eyeglass holder things. Usually there's like a jump ring that connects to this, and I didn't want it to open, so I just connected this finding directly onto the Softflex wire, and I folded the crimp tube. But this is the eyeglass holder that I made for my mom, and it's pretty simple to make. This here is 2 feet long. Okay, so all the way to the end here is 2 feet, so it's 24 inches. And what I did is I just strung my beads. I came up with a pattern on a bead board, and I laid it upside down pretty much, because this is the back of your neck, so it was laying like this on the bead board, right? And I laid out a pattern that was 24 inches long, and then I left my wire on a spool. I strung all of my beads up, measured it, make sure it was still 24 inches, and then I crimped the one end, and then I came around to the other side, cut the wire, and I crimped the other end, and that's how I made an eyeglass holder. There's really nothing to it. I don't know why my mom and dad wanted me to do a video on it, because it's pretty basic, but there it is. In case you guys are interested in doing something like that, it's pretty simple. Again, you need to be 24 inches long. Right, now let's go and make this. I'm going to be using a Naughty Do-It-All board, the Macrame board from Susan Younger. The one I am using is the bracelet size because it fits perfectly in frame for my camera, and the only reason why I'm using this in the camera is because you could see what I'm doing. I've tried making macrame pieces other different ways. I do have my own loom board that I made that I like to work on, and that actually would work just fine for this. But this here, I feel like it holds it stationary more. This doesn't slide around like my board does. So I will be using this to make this project, but you do not have to have this board to make this project. You can use a clipboard if you want to, or find a way to rig it up on a box or something. I've done several videos where I like rig up ways to make bracelets. There was that one bracelet that I made on my desk using binder clips. Oh, Arabian Nights I think it was called. I'll put a picture up now of what I'm talking about. Go and watch that video. It's pretty cool. Right, so I'm going to set my board up I have a peg at the beginning, and I'll have a peg here at the end. Now the first thing you have to do is measure and cut your cord. You will need to cut 2 lengths of cord. Okay, I have one cord that is 2 feet long. And this cord is the center cord. Your beads will go onto this cord, and you're not really going to do much knotting with this. You're just going to make one knot at the very beginning. So this is the center cord for your beads. And then for your knotting cord, this will have to be 4 feet long. So I already have both measured. Now we have to put our button on, and you can use whatever button you want. Now I'm going to use a button that has 2 holes, but you can use a button that has 4 holes. You can use a shank button, whatever you want. So you're going to want to take your short cord first, and I hope I'm zoomed out all the way, okay, and you're going to want to put your button on. Now this has big holes, so I like to fill the holes up, and to do that I have a little trick. I put the button on backwards like this by putting both cords through the button, okay, slide this down finding the center, and then what I do is I hold the center and I pass both ends back through like this. See? I take this end, go back through, and this is filling up the holes in my button. I do the same thing with the other cord. Now I'm putting them on separately because they are different lengths. If they were the same length, I would put them on at the same time. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure that my ends are the same, and if they're not, you just make them the same, and then you loosen up these cords here. Okay, I should get my all out. Put your finger in this loop like this, make sure that they're the same size, they're same lengths, and then you pull this down and there is center. Okay, so now I have this. I'm going to do my second cord now. So this one was 2 feet long, the second cord is 4 feet long, so I'm just straightening it out because it's all coiled up. And again, I'm going to put it on upside down so that I fill the whole of this. Now if you're using a shank button, you would just put both this one, an end of this and an end of this length through the hole, and then you would just tie an overhand knot. But because I'm using a button like this, I like to fill the holes up because I think it looks weird with like 1 cord or 2 cords passed through it. I like to fill it up. And you can also do this with a 4-hole button. And I think I've done videos on how I attach a 4-hole button when I'm using 2 cords. I do like to put a cord through all of the holes. I can't point out to you though which video that was. Maybe I'll find a picture or something. I don't know. Anyways, okay. Ends are the same length, so I'm just going to go like this. Okay. And then I'm going to take the cord on my right and pass through the hole on the left. Okay, and then take the cord on the left and go through the right side. Okay, and make sure that these are even. Okay, now once you get, see how much better that looks? There's more cord going through there. I can actually do another trip around to fill it up more, but I think it looks better than having 1 cord passing through there. Now you're just going to tie an overhand knot. So I just go like this, straighten the cords out, okay, like this, and pass the button through the loop. And bring this knot down. Okay, and I don't like to have the knot right on the back of the button because we do need a space. So I'd like to have a little gap there. Okay, so like that, and then see when this folds over, you can see the edge of the knot, and then my beads are going to start right here. So if this knot was up on the back of this, my bead would be hitting onto the button. Make sense? Okay, now I'm just going to pull each cord individually because this makes it the tightest it can get, and then split the cords and go like this. Okay, but I don't want the knot to move down too much, and it kind of did. Let me see if I can pull it back down. Alright. That looks good to me. Okay. Now go through your beads, pick out what you like, and lay down a pattern. And that's what I did here. And I'm going to go with an asymmetrical design because I've always done symmetry my whole life and I'm trying to go out of my comfort zone. So that's what I'm doing. Now, I have my beads laid out and I've realized that all of these beads here, I'm actually able to go through all of these twice. So I will pass 2 cords through each of these beads. Now, when I get to this bead, it's going to be different. I can only pass 1 cord through this bead. Now I'm going to be tying square knots in between all of these beads. Here are my 2 short strings. Okay, I'm going to separate them. Okay, so you see I have the 2 long ones on this side. This here I'm going to put my beads on the short cords, and then the long cords I'm going to do knotting with. But if you have beads that have larger holes, then you would actually put these 2 cords through the larger holes, depending on how big the holes are, okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and string these on, and I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to try to explain something better. You know how I said that I realized that all of these beads here, my cords can pass through twice, so I string them all up together and I'm just going to knot all of these. Well, if you're doing beads with all different size holes, huge holes, tiny holes, and maybe you have a tiny hole and then a bigger hole, so you would have to put all of the beads on individually and figure out how many cords pass through each bead. You would have to do 1 bead at a time. But since I know that 2 cords fit through all of these beads, that's why I strung them up now. So I hope that makes sense. Now, I'm going to put this onto my thing here. Put this straight. Come down here. I'm not in frame. Clip this on. Seems like if I wrap this around twice, it's tighter. So, there we go. Okay, like that. I wrapped it around. I'm going to go like this because it's kind of awkward doing this sideways. I'm going to slide my first bead up. Now, if you want, like, when you flip this up, if your knot is not on the edge of the button like mine is, you can tie a square knot here. But since mine's not, I'm just going to slide up. But do keep in mind that it will make it longer, your bracelet longer. So I've always done right first because I'm right-handed. So right over the center, left over right, under center through the cord. I'm going to show you how to do this a few times in case you are new to square knots. But I do plan on fast forwarding through this because it is repetitive until the design changes up. Okay, so I'll fast forward until it changes up after I show you how to do this a couple of times. Okay, so there's my knot. Now I'm just trying to get these cords to sit on the sides of the bead. Okay, and then take the left cord, put it over top, right goes over the left, under center through the loop. And pull it tight. There's my first square knot. Now I'm going to slide both of these beads up because it looks weird with the knot in between the flower and this bead, and I love that I can use this type of flower in a project like this because I have used these on eye pins and I've used them in like a bead weave ring. I'll put some pictures up. I've used them different ways, but to use them in macrame, I thought it was really cool and different. So right first, over the center, left over the right, under center, through the loop. Okay, now with the flower bead, there's 6 petals on this. So I have 3 petals on this side, 3 on the other side, and my cord is, you know, halfway there. And then I do the left, so left goes over the center, right goes over left, under center, through the loop. Pull it tight, bring this up. Now, I'm not going to put the cord on the outside. It's going to be problematic. So pick which side looks prettier. I think this side's prettier. The other side has a little flaw on it. So I'm going to flip that over. This here is going to the top. This is going to be the bottom. And plus you guys can see what you're doing better if you do this upside down. So I love the flat beads in this. It's really amazing. So put the right over the center, just like we have been. Left over right, under center, and through this loop. Okay? Now, these cords are going to sit on the back of the bead like this. Okay, so this is why you need a stationary place to tie your bracelet down. So just like that, okay, pull it tight, make sure it looks somewhat like this, kind of like an eye. And then the left goes over center, right goes over left, under center, through the loop. So this, doing it this way prevents your bead from flipping. Okay. Next bead, I have to do 2 again. So now I'm going to do right over the center, left over right, under center, through the loop. Again, center these beads here. 3 petals on each side, and then this over here. Pull it up, pull it tight. Next bead, actually I realize that I can't really fast forward through this because I have to show you how to do this bead too. Okay, so right goes over the left, left goes over right through the loop. Then the left side. I should be able to fast forward through the rest though once we get, well, up into the charm. I guess that's where it changes again. Okay, so like that. I'm gonna move my board up. We're sliding the flower up, and again, this is the back side of our bracelet. So I'm going to do right over, so my flower's upside down. Like this. Lift these cords up and pull this tight and just adjust this so that it's sitting properly. Okay, so like that. And then do the left over the center, right over left under center through the loop. And pull this tight. And that's what we have so far. So now I have to put on a bead that has a smaller hole. I have lines going across my camera right now. I hope that is not visible. I told you guys I need a new camera. Okay, so only one cord can fit through this bead, so I have to undo it down here. Okay, it took out of the clamp. Take one of the cords. It does not matter which, just make sure they're not twisted. I'll take this one. Okay, and you want to make sure that your end is gathered. You can melt the ends of this. I'm going to try to do it without melting it. If it doesn't work, then I will melt it. And you just want to pass the cord through your bead. Okay, there it goes. One whole end seems to be bigger. Okay. And here it comes. So there we go. Okay, slide down. Pick which side you like the most. Okay. Oh, I have to attach this cord to my clamp now, so I'm not going to wrap it around. I'm just going to put it in there. Okay, I think I want this side to be my top, this side my bottom. So now, this cord is going to be on the back side, the center cord. So I put it over the back side, right? And I clamp this in now. So that it's tight. Okay, and then I have to tie my square knots. So these knots, I should slide this up more. Okay, these knots are going to be the same over and under. And also, if there are situations where you feel like you can't have a square knot, you can do an overhand knot. Okay, just totally play around with this. It's all about playing and fun. Okay, right goes over the center, left goes over right, under center, through the loop. And then make sure you have the side you want. Like this. You know, there's a lot of beads we have that are pretty on one side, and then the other side's boring. There's lampwork beads like that. There's check beads like that. Yeah, wooden beads like that. There's carved beads that are pretty on one side. Like this bead is actually kind of, I would say that's kind of carved. Like they're made in a mold. But I think they also carve these because there's like coral ones that are carved. So one side's prettier, other side's not that great. And I also love that I can use this type of rose bead in this. I have used these rose beads in different ways. In case you do have a bunch of these rose beads in your stash, I've used them in beaded rings. I've used them in bracelets. I've done all kinds of things with this type of bead. Okay, now left goes over the center, right goes over left through the middle. Like that. Now all 3 cords are on the back, and look at how tidy this looks. So now I have to continue my pattern, and I'm going to fast forward. I am going to put charms on between some of the beads, and I don't know how it's going to work with the charms, because when I first tested this I did not try it with the charms, and after I did it I'm like, wow, I should put charms in it. So we're going to see what it's like with the charms. So I'm going to go ahead and string my beads on and my charms, and I'll come back. Okay, I'm going to slide the beads down. I don't have to knot around right now. This is going to be my next bead. And I'm just going to continue knotting. Alright, I'm now at the charm. And I'm thinking I should tie maybe 4 knots. So I tied 1 square knot. I'm going to tie another. So that's the first one, and then second. So I have 2 square knots. Okay, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just pass my cords through the jump ring, and this is just going to hang freely on top of my knots. Yes, like that. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, tassels will be so cute in this. Yeah, should I do another knot though? Let's see, let's try to envision what this would be like. No, I think that's good. Yeah, I don't want to do too many knots, because then I'm making it kind of too long, and I'm seeing that I need to move my board up. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's really cute. I'm gonna go with this. So I have just 2 square knots there. So I continue the knot like usual. We'll fast forward. I'm deciding against the cat charm for 2 reasons. I don't like how wide this gap is. I think it looks really great. Like, all of this looks amazing. And see how wiggly that charm is? That's how you need to be. You need lots of movement for a charm. But this here, that gap is too wide to accommodate the cat charm. And also, it's very stiff. So see how it's not moving around? So I'm going to undo this, and we're going to eliminate the cat charm, and I'm going to move this bead up against this bead here. I'll be back. So down here I put the bead in, the last bead, so it looks like this. Okay, this is my pattern. I did a square knot, and I like to do, I'm going to put my loop here, my button loop. I like to make this area here a little longer because I think it looks weird short, so I'm going to do another square knot. Okay, and I might do 3. So there's 2. I think I will do a 3rd one, just because I like the look of it. Okay. So that's what I have. Now I'm going to do my button loop. So in order to do the button loop, I have to separate these cords. And this one's on the right side. And I'm going to tie I need to loop this around twice, so let me go like this, and then hold it and go back through. Okay, like that. I'm going to tie a knot, and I always get confused with this knot at the very beginning. I don't know if I'm supposed to go over or under for the first one, so I just do it, and whatever looks the best, that's where I go from. Now, let's try going under and see what that looks like. And no, that's wrong. I think. Yes, I'm going to undo it and tie it on the top side and see if that looks better. It just does not look right. You'll know it's right because it will just look right, basically. Okay, I went under. This time I'm going to go over and see if it looks better. So over and through the loop. And that's it. Okay, so I went over. Now I have to go under and through the loop. And I'm only doing one side, and I have done this several times. This is my favorite way to make a macrame bracelet with this loop here, and I have to pull this tight, so I'm just going to go like that. So I went under. Now I have to go over and through the loop. Pull it up, pull it tight. Now under through the loop, pull it tight, over through the loop, and I just alternating it. I'll just zoom in. It looks really dark on my camera, and I have like 3 lights on, so I hope you could see well. So by looking at it, it's a little hard to tell because it's dark, but I could see that I'm over. My cord is over the last knot, so I have to go under and through the loop. So if you get up, walk away, you answer the phone, whatever, you get distracted, maybe some beads roll across the floor and you look at them like you're a dog looking for your ball, you know, distractions. When you come back, you can see what you have to do next. So I can see here, after this knot, this bump here on the outside is going down and under. So that means this one goes over and under. Okay, so I just keep going, doing this until I get to the length of my button so that my button can go through here. So I'm going to fast forward. Okay, so I don't know if this is the length I need. I might have to undo some knots, add a couple more. But I'm going to stop here and do the same thing to the other side. So I'm now going to attach the left side, and I'm going to do that little thing where I wrap the cord around. Okay, and again, I don't know which direction I have to start, so let's just see what it looks like. That's wrong. It's warning up. Okay, I went over. Now I'm going to go under, and let's see. And that's it. Okay, so I went under, now I go over, under, over, under, over, and I repeat this until I think I have enough knots. I kept doing that knot on both sides until I got the length of my button, so that's what I have right now. So when I go to put my button through here, okay, what you want to do is hold all 4 of these cords like this. Do you see how it fits? Like, it's just enough room for my button to go through. You can make it tighter by sliding this down. It makes it a little bit smaller. I do like a snug fit. Okay, and just place in there. It looks great. Okay, that's what it looks like, so I'm going to go with that. Okay, I actually could slide down a little bit more if I want to, if it moves down for me. Okay, now, So this is it laying upside down. Remember, this was the back side. So I got these to be the same length. Now I have one of my cords is pointing up. This one's pointing up. And this one's pointing down. Do you see that? You need them to be in opposite directions. You don't want them both pointing in the same direction. So one's pointing up. One's pointing down. I'm going to put this back in my clamps. Okay. Put these two cords back in. Okay, now this is pointing down and this is pointing up, so this is down. I'm going to put my right cord over the center, left over right under center through the loop. Okay, now if this is right, it should continue the same weave pattern. Okay, and it looks like mine is. So I'm going to do the left now over the center, right over left through the center, under the center, I think, through the loop. Okay, that's one square knot. It looks great. You could still smoosh this down if you have to, if it's too loose. And my finished bracelet is going to be 7.5 inches. I don't know if you could see on a thing, but it's going to be 7.5 inches. Now, I did notice it was a little loose down here, so I took my bracelet off here, and what I did is I started sliding the beads down, okay, and then I went this, sliding them down this way, going back up, and it shortened it more. I'm going to tie a second square knot. I don't know if I want to tie 2 or 3, so I'm just going to see what it looks like and go from there. I probably tie 2. Okay, that's 2. I like how that looks. So now test the button. And see if it fits. It should fit. Yes. Okay, how cute. I love a button loop like that. It's so pretty. Now I was thinking about putting my cat charm down here, but I don't want it banging into my buttons. So I think I'm just going to finish this off. Okay, I'm pulling this tight and I'm just going to tie an overhand knot. Now what I've done in the past is I've actually put little seed beads on the tail ends, or metal beads to make it look fancy. It's up to you how you want it to look. If you have a hard time getting this through, you can use your pliers. I've done that before. I think I've done it in videos. So I'm bringing the knot down. Here are the 2 designs that I made with the Softflex Book Lovers kit. I thought that it made a lot of sense to do an eyeglass holder with the kit, and also I always usually do a necklace. So remember, we are still collecting donations to get a new video camera. This is my second tutorial tonight. The first tutorial I was filming, I had lines going across my screen. I don't know why sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. It's weird when it happens. I always think, oh no, it's gonna die. But anyways, I am collecting donations for a new video camera because I'm still using the same video camera that I started using when I started YouTube back in 2011. So if you enjoy my work, if you love what I do, if you want to help me out, and not just help me out, but when you donate money for me to get a new video camera, you're helping everybody out who watches my channel and all of the tutorials and the openings that I do and organizing, haul videos, all the kinds of things that I do on this channel. You're helping me to create more content for you guys. So if you're able to donate down there below the video, you will see a heart symbol with a $sign on it. You can click that and donate money there towards the new video camera. So far we have like maybe $45. We're pretty far away from a video camera, so if you can donate, it would not just help me, but help everybody out. Alright, so this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and follow me on my social media sites. I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, and X. Thanks for watching.